welcome back to my channel. Allergy season. I hate allergy season. When my allergies start acting up, I just get in a bad mood. It's just so hard to be comfortable when you got allergies. But anyway, I am okay, like for this video, I just want to talk a little bit and then I want to make an art piece. My sketchbook. I was gonna talk about the most outrageous things I've ever done. That seems a bit like oversharing. Like that's kind of oversharing on the internet, which I am an oversharer. I don't have shame about anything in my life. I understand that there's nothing in this human experience that I've experienced that someone else hasn't already experienced and overcame. So I'm really not like ashamed of being vulnerable about my low points. But people are judgmental and not everyone is like that. So I think I'm not going to share stories about the most outrageous things I've done. Or maybe I will. I don't know. It just depends on how I feel talking. I will share stories of how I made mistakes. I did like odd things that were mistakes that caused me to take L's. Hold on one second. The cat is scratching my door trying to get in. Say hi. Say hi to the people. So okay, so I know what I want to talk about. So this video is for everyone to learn from, but specifically art majors. Do not make the mistakes that I made. Do not make the mistakes that I made if you're going to school for art. I'm gonna tell y'all about the time when I almost failed this sculpture class. I took a sculpture class in college. It was really fun. I loved that class so much. I never experimented with sculpture that much before that class. I did take one pottery class before that class, but this sculpture class, it was not pottery. We're using plaster, chicken wire, found materials and stuff like that to create beautiful art, beautiful 3D art. The way the class was set up, it was like one class, professor explaining the project that we're going to be working on for that module. So he would go through a PowerPoint explaining what he's expecting from us, like the prompt of it, the materials we're allowed to use, and then he will show us like different pictures for inspiration. And that would be the first class. And art classes are very long. They're like 3 to 4 hours long. Like art classes are really long. And I'm not even gonna get into how annoying and like weird, how annoying it was to take a 4-hour long art class on Zoom during Corona. I'm not even gonna get into that type of torture because like, and I have ADHD, like that was so hard for me. But anyway, this sculpture class, this was before Corona. It was in person. So you would have instruction days where the professor would instruct you on what you need to do. And then you would have work days where you as a student would just come in and work on your sculpture. But my issue is I don't like making art in front of other people, like in real time. I don't like making art in real time, especially like something like sculpture. Like I just don't like doing that with other people around me. Like it just makes me feel weird. Like I don't know. I don't feel like I can be my full authentic creative self when I'm making art with other people. Not with other people, but when I'm making art around other people. I like to be alone when I make my own personal art pieces. So So I would go to class during, this is a mistake I made. I would go to class during instruction days, but like after the first few weeks, I started to realize that I really did not like making art with my classmates in the class with me. Like once I started realizing that, I just kind of like stopped going to work days. So work days for classes was just days where we would go in and just work on our projects. So I wouldn't go to class during work days, but I would go to the art center late at night when no one's there and work on my project, because the art center was open 24 hours for students who were people who were art students, had 24-hour access to the art building. Hold on one second, the cat wants to get out. Yeah, so at night I would come in and work on my project. And when I tell you, I did every assignment in that class, handed it in on time, got nothing lower than a 97 for every project except for one. There was one project that I just was not vibing with, like I just didn't know what to do. Like I was having art block, but I did really well work in that class. Like I put maximum effort into every project that I did for that class. But I wasn't going to the work days to work on my projects. I was coming in at night when no one was there. The semester's going along. I'm getting my 98s, 100s. And then the end of the semester comes. It's like the last project. And I guess the night before, my professor had sent me an email basically talking about how like I've missed all these classes and like he's not sure if he could pass me. So, but I didn't see the email and I had his class the next day. So I came in for his class the next day and I thought everything was like fine and dandy. We had a critique that day. And so art classes, it's instruction days, work days, and critiques. Critiques are very important for art classes. And I always went to every critique. I never missed a critique. But yeah, it was a critique day, and after class he was like, "Did you see my email?" And I was like, "Huh? What email?" He was like, "Well, I sent you an email about your attendance or whatever." And I was like, and he was like, I'm just very concerned about your academic standing in this class. Like, I'm not sure if I can pass you in this class because you haven't been coming to the work days. And this is where I messed up. I should have let him know what was going on. I shouldn't have just not gone to the class work days. I should have let him know. But I have anxiety, especially when it comes to authority, because of my upbringing. Like I have anxiety around authority figures, and I have anxiety around opening up about my anxiety. I have anxiety about opening up around my mental health. And like, yeah, I don't like telling people about my mental health. I don't like telling people like teachers and bosses about my mental health. Like I already don't get taken seriously enough. Like I just don't like it. So like I didn't let him know anything. I just like, when he told me that, like my heart dropped. And then I went to my dorm and I basically like just marinated on that, and I had sent him an email later that day basically saying I really apologize for missing the work days, that I prefer to work on my art on my own, like by myself. I do take his class seriously and I value everything that he's taught me, and like clearly my grades show that I put maximum effort into this class. So like, please do not fail me because I didn't go to the work days. And I actually did end up getting a good grade in that class, thankfully. But yeah, That was crazy. That was crazy. College, I remember I was taking both an animation class. And if y'all know anything about animation, animation is so time consuming. Like, animation, I have so much respect for people who are pursuing careers in animation, because like I feel like animators are just a different breed. Like, it takes a lot. It takes a lot to be an animator. Like, I feel like that's one of the hardest jobs. But I was taking an animation class, and I was taking a really freaking hard painting class too. Like, that was the hardest class I've ever taken. And like, I had gotten sick to the point during that semester. I had gotten sick to the point where I had to go to the ER twice. And I was taking this art history class, and I hate art history classes. Actually, I take that back. I don't hate art history classes. Obviously, in art history classes, I love learning about new art, but I hate the structure of art history classes. Like, it's just so not for artists, the structure of it. It's like it's not even about like noticing interesting things about art from the past. It's about just memorizing dates and names and where that art came from. Like, that is literally what art history classes are. Like, the tests are just who made this piece, when was it created, where did it come from. It's just like, okay, like, it is art, but it is art history, so like I kind of get that formatting, but I just wish they would do it like differently. Like, I feel like school just ruins everything. Sometimes, a lot of the times, actually all the time, school ruins everything. Like, there's so many ways that you could make an art history class interesting and engaging, and not like a regurgitation of information, of memorized information. Like, and that's what school literally is. Like, school is literally just learning information and then regurgitating it onto a test and then forgetting it literally right after you finish the test. Like, I forgot. Oh yeah. Where I was going with this. Art history. Yeah. So I was so sick that I had to go to the ER, and I had missed an exam in my art history class. And my professor still gave me an F. I had a doctor's note. I explained to her what my situation was. And apparently her test, me being there to take that test, was more important than my health. She told me there was nothing she could do for me, that there's nothing that could be done. And she just gave me an F because I was in the ER and I couldn't make it to the exam, the final exam. It was a final exam, yeah. And I was in the ER struggling. Like I was really sick. I couldn't even drink water. Like, I was really sick. And like I like begged this woman, like, is there anything you can do? Like, is there anything you can do so that I don't get an F? And she said there's nothing she could do, and she gave me an F. And I feel like that was the point when I really realized that I hate school. Like, I really hate school, honestly, truly. Like, school has been the source of so much depression, anxiety. Like, I just have memories of me like I remember having like actual literal anxiety attacks during math tests. And like cuz like I am like really awful at math. I feel like math teachers teach math as if all of the students have math degrees already. Like they do. And like I don't like math. I'm not good at math at all. Like literally out of all of the college I've done, I've attempted to take 3 math classes and I dropped them because like I just like I'm not even sure if it's possible for me to be good at math. That would take years upon years of like training for me to get to become the average level of good at math. Probably take 15 years of training. What am I talking about? I just hate math and I hate school. I love truth. I love learning truth. But I hate school because for one, school does not always teach truth. Period. Yeah, I just wanted to tell that story. Do you guys want to see a baby picture of me? I have this like little album with like baby pictures of me. Look at me. Adorbs. I was such a tomboy when I was younger. Like, well, actually, this says something different. This is not very tomboy-ish. This is very tomboyish. See, y'all? It was not giving girly girl. It was giving tomboy. That's funny. That is so funny. Like, I really did used to run and wrestle and like play sports with the boys. Like, I was not into girly stuff. Should I tell another story time? I don't know if my videos be too long. I do have like a lot of crazy stories. My life is really crazy, guys. Like I do not I am a very laid one thing about me is I'm laid back. I'm quiet. Ooh, I know what story I want to tell. But anyway, let me finish my thought. I'm laid back. I'm quiet. I don't talk much unless I'm comfortable around you. And like I don't start anything. And trouble and chaos is always coming to find me. Trouble and chaos is always coming to me. I don't know why. But as y'all know, I used to work at a frame shop, but I got fired. I'm actually working in framing again now, and it's a lot better. But yeah, so at the frame shop I used to work at, like this lady came in. Yes, I got attacked by a Karen. She didn't like physically hit me or anything, but she offended me. I was at work and this lady came in. And she basically I'm pretty sure this woman was on drugs. And like my stuff was in the break room, but the break room wasn't locked. And when this lady came in, I was working with a customer. And so she basically came in and she basically snuck into the break room while no one was looking and stole all my stuff. She stole mad other stuff in the break room along with my stuff. But yeah, she stole my phone, my wallet, along with some other stuff. Y'all, my nose is itching. These allergies, I can't. it's like every year it's something different. Like I used to get really itchy, watery, puffy eyes, and it was awful. And now my nose is just itching and like doing that stinging thing, like when it's just like stinging, like oh my god. But um anyway, like yeah, the Karen came in and oh my goodness, this is crazy. The Karen came in and she basically like she stole all our shit. And then and we caught her. Like my boss caught her. And he locked the door. And he called my phone and it started ringing in her pocket. And like and so she tried to run out the door, but the door was locked because he locked it, and he stood in front of the door and was like, "No, you stole our stuff. We're calling the police." And eventually she took my phone out of her pocket and threw it. Like, so disrespectful. Like, why are you getting mad? She was all mad and everything. Like, she was just like, fine, and then took the phone out and threw it. Like, you're stealing from us. Why are you mad at me? You're stealing from me. She threw it and then eventually she broke through my old boss and got outside and left with my wallet. I'm getting too far ahead. I'm not telling y'all the part that makes her the real Karen. So my boss was just standing in front of the door, blocking her from getting outside. And she was pushing him. Like, she was really shoving him. And while she was shoving, yo, listen to this. Listen to this, because I'm trying to tell you how these Karens be lying. While she's shoving my boss, she goes, "Stop hitting me. Stop hitting me." And he did not have his hands on her. And she was like, "Stop hitting me. Stop hitting me. You're hurting me. You're hurting me." As she's shoving my boss to get outside. Like, and I was just like, I didn't know what to do. So I was just like standing there. But in my head, I was like, oh my goodness, like this is a real life Karen right now. The police came or whatever, and they like traced her down and got my wallet, which I'm just glad I got my stuff. They didn't arrest her. They asked me if I wanted to press charges. I was like, nah, because that just seemed like a lot of work, and I just wanted to go home. Like, my shift was over and all of this happened. Like, I wanted to go home. It was probably like 30 minutes, an hour after my shift was over, and I just wanted to go home. And this Karen just ruined my entire day by stealing my stuff and lying about getting attacked. Like, I was just annoyed. I was just annoyed. But yeah, they got my stuff back, and I was just happy to have my stuff back. Crazy stuff is constantly happening to me. Like, can you guys tell me in the comments if it would be oversharing? Like, really be honest. Be honest, please. And tell me, like, if you guys would like to hear stories about, like, the crazy, outrageous things that have happened to me. Like, would it be oversharing? Because I watch a lot of YouTubers who do story times, and like, I'm just interested in the story. Like, I'm not judging them going like, she's telling all her business. Like, I'm just watching it and I'm interested in the story. So like, let me know, because like crazy things are always happening to me. Like, a lot. It's like I'm the type of person who you would think has a very simple, boring life, but that is not so. That is not so. I'm about to make some art, so don't go anywhere. I got niggas screaming for it, know they craving the hit.
got a single page and we really need a fix, yeah. Busy, do not bark, that man gon' bite your ass. Then I give a fuck, you know I open it, this break a blast. I be high as fuck, my eyes just looking like some church glass. Freestyling and this shit probably sound like ass. Blah, 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 blah. I got bags, I got rocks. Throw this shit at your head, pass out like Goldilocks. Unconscious and you dead. All you do is post blocks. No bitch, I'm on your head, and now I just forgot. Don't know where they wanna own me. Don't know where they wanna control me. Don't got a boyfriend, I'm lonely. Why don't you give me head since you all on me? Don't know where they wanna own me. Don't know where they wanna control me. Don't got a boyfriend, I'm lonely. But you give me head since you all on me. Bitch, you came in with a Glock, get out your socks. Still in my bitch in the eyes, scary ass bitch, called 12. That's what you smell, and he's a fucking your dog. I just be hopping the club, where do I go? Touching, but I'm not a cop. Smoking on lust like shit. If you want his, I do not open the shop. I do not know what I'm talking about. Just love a bitch, she running out. Try me and shit going south. Switch the bag, but not the cloud. How long is this song now? When I talk, sit down. Cookie bitches, fucking clown ass niggas always hang around. Yeah. Don't know why they wanna own me. Don't know why they wanna control me. Don't know why they wanna own me. Don't know why they wanna control me. Don't got a boyfriend, I'm lonely. But you give me head since you all on me. Don't know why they wanna own me. Don't know why they wanna control me. Don't got a boyfriend, I'm lonely. But you give me head since you all on me. Nigga, you got the game fucked up.
I lay so low that niggas cannot find me. I have grown so cold, I might just change the climate. I lay so low that niggas cannot find me. I have grown so cold, I might just change the climate. There is more to life than what you think life is about. Covering cells, watch TV, toxins in the food you eat. Fluoride when you brush your teeth, smoke a J and let you free. I've been so low that there's nothing you can do to me. I pick myself up out the dirt despite all of the scrutiny. Baby, this life not for me. I'll pack my bags, go overseas. Let's go overseas. I lay so low that niggas cannot find me. I've grown so cold, I might just change the climate. I lay so low that niggas cannot find me. I've grown so cold, I might just change the climate. It's dead flowers in the rain. There's nothing you can do to make me feel pain. It's dead flowers in the rain. I never wanna feel like this again. It's dead flowers in the rain. There's nothing you can do to make me feel pain. It's dead flowers in the rain. I'm never gonna feel like this again. Dead flowers in the rain. Dead flowers in the rain.
Nigga, you got the game fucked up.
Keep it moving, so get up and let's get to it. We all gon' make it through it. Set it up and let's get to it. Get off your ass and get some cash. Let's get up and let's get to it. Get up and let's get moving. Get up and let's get to it. Yeah. Don't gotta fuck with me, but you gon' give me my respect. I'm like the copper and my locks are like the crystals round my neck. I've been for guidance and alliance, but I'm still up by the check. Cause I see nothing but abundance. What I get, I give it back. If it don't serve me, then it ain't worthy. I remove the curtain to see all you niggas lurking. Yeah, I've been through hell and heaven on my journey, and I only scratch the surface. They try to block me out, that's how I know I make them nervous. And I see the devil working. But I got angels watching me. They protect me from the bullshit and they show me what I see. I started losing friends when I removed the phonies. If it don't sit right with my spirit, get the fuck away from me.
thought I told you. Lexi Grammy ain't shit new. Lexi really ain't shit, ooh. Bitch, I'm really the shit. You ain't up when the sunrise. Go ghost, cut off all ties. Weighing heavy on my mind. Body tryna unwind. Brain feeling confined. Sanity left behind. Blind can't find my mind. Fuck all of mankind. Lexi feeling unkind. Shit fucking with my mind. Shit, it's about time. Don't you hear the bells chime? Bitches fucking go time. Bitches fucking showtime. Bitches sour than a lime. If I ever leave this place, I'll travel